Even or odd?
Odd.
7. All right, you are going first this time. So I'm just going to draw my 5 here, and let's see what I have. I'm going to keep my hand open for everybody so that they can see what I'm drawing into. So, now this is interesting. So for everybody that sees this, I've got 2 copies of the Sojiro. That becomes 45 as long as she has 3 or fewer characters. 1 copy of the marker Akatsuki that basically charges for a turn, and then when it attacks, you can use the marker from it to snipe out a level 0. 1 climax, that's the 1k1 that combos the level 3 Akatsuki, and the 1 copy of Naotsugu that's in this deck. So, because we're on the draw, I'm thinking that we can actually just keep these 2 level 0s in hand and ditch these 3. The reason is Natsuga is not going to be used for quite a long time. The second Sojiro kind of gets diminishing returns because it's not really good on the offense anyway, but the chances of 1 surviving are pretty good, and we don't need the climax early on. So I'm going to go ahead and ditch 3 cards and draw 3.
I'm going to drop, I drew into, I have my big level 0 beater, which is great. This 002K Sasami is actually an animal character, and on play she gives a level 2 or higher 3,000 power. I'm going to keep her just to have something extra to attack with. I can attack with her the first turn. It's okay if she dies. That way I can save this beater for later. I also drew into my 1-0 Kood, who has pretty much the same effect as Ellie from Love Live. She gets plus 500 for each animal character, which is everything in the deck. And I also drew into my big 1-1 level assist. I actually drew into 2 copies of it. There's only 2 in the deck, so I'm going to definitely hang on to 1 because I'm not going to have a way to get that back. And go ahead and draw 1 more. So,
all right.
Oh, and a climax. So I guess that will be there.
All right, take it away. Here we go, first turn.
All right. Draw?
Yep.
Go ahead and clock the climax. Oops. Throw cards. That's always great. I'm going to go ahead and throw out the Sasami because it's great to just attack with right now.
Okay.
So this is going to be direct for 2.
Mm-hmm.
2.
2? What's the power on it?
2,000.
2,000? Okay.
Yeah, its main ability in the deck is she gives a level 2 or higher 3,000 power. She's more relevant late game than she is early game. Early game, she just kind of serves in the deck to hit for some damage. So.
Okay, let's go with my turn then. I'll draw. Ooh, there we go. Drew a level reverser. I'm going to clock a level 3 Akatsuki because we're far away off from being able to use it. Ooh, and we get quite the hand. So I'm going to first thing use or play out my Mario support. Reason is because I know that I'm already at 2 climaxes. I'm going to use the mandatory trigger first to put the top card into my waiting room. And if we succeed, it is not a climax, so she does not get sent to stock. Yay. And I have the option of hitting 3 more cards, and because I'm already at 2 climaxes, I'd like to do that. So let's get some of that damage denial there going. All right, cool. Now there's a few soul triggers that are out of the top of the deck. Notice that we milled away 3 soul triggers. So that means that this attack is probably going to not hit a soul trigger, which is okay, which is actually okay. We want her to stay at level 0 as long as possible to gain as much advantage as we can with both cards and damage. So I'm going to play my Akatsuki second. I'm going to rest her to put a marker underneath. How meta, look at that.
That is awesome. The art going on there is great.
It aligns perfectly. Look at that. All right. And then I'm going to use my Sojiro, who is now 3,000 power. And during her turn, it'll be 5,000, unless she fills the board somehow. Which at level 0 is not really great unless you're trying to actually soul rush and or if you don't have any other choice. Okay, so the Sasami is 2,000?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Frontal attack for 1, 1. There we go. There's a blank trigger.
1 sticks.
All right. Pass turn.
Bye-bye, Sasami. All right. Gonna go ahead and clock this level 2.
Okay.
All right. So this is kind of interesting. This is my brainstorm in this deck. It's the new one from Card Mission. Whoops. I'm actually going to play this a little differently. Whoops, before I do that.
Showing everybody the clock swap, but that's okay.
Yeah. I'm going to play this 3-5 Rin. On play, she gives a character 1,000 power, so I'm going to give it to her. Then I'm going to pay 1, rest this to brainstorm, and then it's a clock swap. So I can take a card from my clock, no hits, and put it in my hand and put the top card of my library into my clock.
And this is the thing about clock swap brainstormers. Unless you want to hit yourself, don't use it when you're at 0 on clock, because it will actually force you to put the top card of your deck into clock every time. Even though if you hit more than 1 climax, you're going to keep on looping that card to your hand. You'll still end up net basically one more card in clock. So,
well, and the nice thing about this card is, I mean, it's kind of a weird brainstorm, but sometimes like you get stuck where you like clock a climax and you want it back, or you clock an event, and this will get back any card. It's not just a character.
There you go.
So, it's still a little different, but so. And so Zero's 5,000, correct?
Yeah, so Zero is huge.
Yeah, so I am, well, I could waste another card in hand to do something about that, or, well, I'm not probably going to do that, because he's probably going to just take it out with my Akatsuki marker next turn, so. Yeah. We're just going to go direct here for 2, 3.
3, okay. This might go through. Oh boy, and it does. So we're going to get sent to level 1 first here. Alright, here we go. Stand, draw. Ooh, we're getting all the level 3s. Okay, so...
That's a lot of Akatsuki, but I mean, it's Akatsuki, so...
Can't get enough.
Can't be bad, right?
Let's clock. We'll level with this level 1 Akatsuki. I do want to keep up 0 stock options in my waiting room, so I'm going to level with the one that doesn't cost me anything. Draw 2. Alright, so this is kind of rough because we don't have any of the Shidowai Brainstormer to try to draw cards, and we only have 1 stock anyway. We've got 1 in the waiting room right here, and we're already out 2 of them. So, here's the difficult part about this turn. We want to keep Little Busters at 0-4 as long as we can, as long as we're not going to get jumped by a level. Unfortunately, because we're already out, let's see, 3 climaxes, the chances of her getting ahead or too far ahead are a bit too much for comfort. So we're going to go with the next best option, which is to just rush her down at this point and try to get as far as we can with the cards that we have in hand. That way, next turn, we can, say, clock this level 2 or another level 3 and just get some more cards out of that. And the thing about trying to beat down for a lot more damage at this stage is that if she cancels it all, well, we're okay, because then that gives us a turn's reprieve. If she doesn't, we get even on damage, if not ahead.
Well, and another thing with Little Busters is most Little Busters decks run a lot of search and not a lot of salvage unless you're playing against twins or Yukiho. So the nice thing about this is if I cancel everything, he's going to mill through my library. So... that means I have less options to search for with my level 1 combo.
There we go. So there's an incentive. I just remembered I don't have any blue in my clock or level, so I can't play that blue 1K1, so we'll go with this red one here. All right. First things first, we're going to attack and snipe out your character.
She goes to the waiting room, correct?
Yes, goes straight to the waiting room, and that'll be for 2. It does not turn into a direct attack, so just as a... This is a thing. Even if you get rid of a character in front of something, even as a result of an attack trigger or just a trigger off the top, a direct attack or a front attack remains a front attack. It doesn't get to change. So we're going to attack for 2.
2 sticks.
Okay. And now we're going to direct for 3, 3.
Up 3 sticks.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Right.
So wait a minute. So that yellow is going to stay there, so I'm actually going to level with green and put those cells in the waiting room and leave that there.
And this is probably favored to cancel at this point, but we'll see. Oh, there's a book trigger. Yay, we get to draw a card. Sweet. Get a level 1 out of that, and we get a stock. All right, so that'll be for 3.
Cancels.
Okay, there we go. All right, passing turn.
All right, stand, draw. Do not need a second brainstormer. Okay, so
15.
Okay, so we could do that. All right.
So we've got a maximum of 4 climaxes left and 21 cards here. And unfortunately, we it was shown that both of our brainstorming Shiroi were sent to the waiting room, so I think I might have a third copy in the deck, but if not, we might have a rough refresh on this first time around, so we'll see what happens.
How big is the Akatsuki? She's 1,000?
The level verse was 1,500.
1,500.
Yeah.
Okay, and the one here?
The one in the center is 2K. The one on the left is 1,500.
1,500.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sojiro is still enormous, 5K.
Okay.
Until you fill your board. Okay, board filled. Now he shrinks to a mere 3,000 power.
Okay.
Looks like everybody's going down here, though. Maybe not Akatsuki.
I'm gonna pay 1 for this Kudos assist.
Okay.
She gives she's a level assist, and she has tap, give an animal or sports character 1,000.
Ah, okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and give 1,000 power here. Okay. So that'll make her 2/5.
All right.
Which she'll end up getting reversed by the level reverser, but that'll
okay.
at least clear that.
All worth it.
And then this is a full board of animal characters. So she is 6/5. This one's 7/5. This one's 8.
Jeez. So, that's a lot of power.
This is going to be front for 3.
Whoa, that's a lot of damage. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, 3 happens. This is actually okay. We won a level because we've got something on the back. We've got something to back that up.
This is going to be front for 2 and a punish burn.
Yikes. 2 with a... Uh-oh. Now the punish happens. You burn for 1. All right, we take 1.
And then this is going to be front for 2.
Yes. No, it's canceled. All right.
All right,
in reverse. Here we go. Encore phase. No. 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 So technically, during your encore phase, you and your opponent switch off, choosing characters one at a time. But in this case, it doesn't make sense for me to encore anything. So I'm just going to shortcut it and send everything to my waiting room.
I'm trying to decide if I want to pay to get those 2 climaxes out.
That's right. There were 2 triggers in there. There was the
bad idea, good idea.
Questionable, because it relies on you keeping your board alive through the next turn, which is reasonable. Depends on what I draw, because if I do draw something that's bigger, then it's unlikely that you'll be able to sustain something. Because I did stay below 1/6. If I was at 1/6, then you definitely don't want to pay that out, because then I'm just going to be attacking you for a lot more.
Level 2.
Not that you would know that, but...
Yeah. Well, no, I wouldn't know that, but I would assume with Log Horizon, because it has the 1/1 Akatsuki and you've got stock, that that's definitely an option. So the Coot is dying. So she would help boost these, though. So...
Yeah, it depends. Do you want to
I think I'm going to let it go at this point.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have a chance to pay that out.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Draw. Oh, we got a level reverser. Miss Isuzu shows up. We're going to clock this Akatsuki and draw 2. Ooh, that was a nice draw.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes, this is very good. It solves basically all of the problems that we would have had. So, we're going to play this Akatsuki here, because that can get big. And I'm going to play my Isuzu in the center, which is a level reverser. And I can play my 1/1 Akatsuki here. How big is the Kud on the right?
The Kud on the right, so they both lost 500 power because that character left.
Right.
So she is 6,000, 7,000.
7,000. Okay, not big enough. Because, let's see, I can rest character.
But that Akatsuki, you can tap something to give it 1,000 power.
Exactly. So I'm going to rest my Marielle to give her 1,000, so she's now 75. And I'm going to play... Now, it's arguable that I should save the 1K one, but let's see. How many cards do you have in your hand?
I have 4 cards in hand.
4 cards in hand.
And we've seen there's 1, 2 climaxes in my waiting room. We saw 2 triggered last turn.
Right. Okay. And what's your clock at? You're at level 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Okay. In this case, I think I'm going to hold off on my climax combo, and here's why for everybody here. This 2/1 Minori combos with this 1K1, and if you pay 1, you can basically boost it and be able to completely wipe your opponent's board with the extra power, because whenever it reverses something, whenever something gets reversed,
I think you give the power to. Doesn't it give the power to two other characters, and if they reverse it, it goes to the bottom of the deck or something like that?
Characters you control. So you get 2,500 power, and then when they reverse a character in battle, you can put them on the bottom of the owner's deck. So I'm going to hold off on that, because if we don't use a 1k1 here, the chances of her getting to level 2 are fairly low. And with 4 climaxes left in her deck, we'll most likely see things cancel, especially if we make the direct attack. That's actually optional. What we want to do first, though, is clear her characters. And then, if something overhits, we can probably go for extra damage with this direct attack. So first things first, we're going to attack with our Clock on Akatsuki for 2. Oh boy.
2 hits.
Okay, and now we're going to trade with the center, with this Isuzu, for 1.
1 sticks.
All right, and let's see. She has... We can keep her stranded at level 1, or we can go for that extra damage. The awkward part about that is, though, is that because we used the Isuzu successfully, that does mean that this Akatsuki is going to lose power unless we encore it. But we're going to want to preserve more stock for the later game, so we are going to go for the direct attack here for 2, 3. Oh boy.
Cancels on the third.
There it is. Okay, passing turn.
Alright. Let these go. Stand and draw. Clock. Huh. That is definitely not ideal right now. But that is sometimes what happens. How big are your characters?
Well, this one's only 5,000, and this one's 65. It has clock encore, though.
Well, I'm supposed to be playing these with the Climax combo to search for level 2s or higher, but that is simply just not happening this right now because
got triggered.
I'm missing the Climax, but I need to get some damage in, and I need to do that. So, tap here, give her 1,000 more power.
Okay.
So she's a 6/5 right now.
Okay.
So this is going to be front for. There's the Climax.
Oh, there's the Climax.
That's for 3.
Cancels. All right. Yep. Whew, that's worthwhile.
And then this is going to be direct for 2.
2? Okay, that should hit. Oh, wow. And that cancels. Huh. Okay, so we just got denied level here. So I'm going to let this Akatsuki go. And let's stand. Draw. Ooh, there's a Rudy. But we don't really need the Rudy right now, per se. So let's clock, draw these 2 cards here. Oh boy. Bunch of level 1s. That's a good thing. That's a good thing, though. We'll want that. So I'm going to play an Akatsuki here. I'm going to move my Akatsuki over, and I'm going to play an Isuzu. And let's see. How many cards are in your hand?
4.
4 cards. So she's still got 4 cards in hand. She's definitely hitting level 2 this next turn. She triggered yet another Climax, so she's got 3 in there. Canceled 1 last turn, so there's up to 2 left in the deck. This sounds like a great time to use a 1k1. But first things first, I'm going to use this to give her 1,000 more power, and then I'm going to go to Climax Step and play my 1k1. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to refresh with this, but we get everything else too. So, here we go. Direct for 3, 3.
1, 2, cancels.
Okay, there we go. Now these other 2 are pretty favored to hit. I'm going to refresh first, though, because I just ran out of cards in my deck. And we're refreshing with 7, if memory serves, which is good. Oh, interestingly, only have 1 blue card in Clock. Most likely going to use that to level, too, because that's one of the weaker ones in the deck. Okay, refresh. Oh, okay. I can use the Sojiro to level instead. Okay. And with that, we have things to salvage if we so happen to hit one of those triggers. And going for a front attack here for 1, 2. Oh, and a book trigger. We draw. All right, 2.
Cancels.
Oh, all right. And this should hit. This is going to be for
How
3.
big was your Akatsuki in the center?
Center Akatsuki was 6575.
7.5. Okay.
Yeah. And this is for 3.
Definitely hits.
Yep.
And eye level. Well, what do I want over there? Definitely need yellow. Okay. And I'm going to make an attempt. Well, I could get 1 climax back in there.
By encoring something, right?
Yeah. Is that smart with it, or at this point, so I could at least refresh with 6, or?
That's difficult, because how many cards do you have in your waiting room?
Let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and 5 climaxes right now,
5
I think.
climaxes, but then, so you add 34, but 6. 34 and 6 is much better, but it depends on the quality of your hand, and you would have to follow up. Because if you can clear my board, there's an argument for not doing that, so that you can build up more stock for level 3, or because you already have things in the back, if you're able to wait a turn, I would pay out. I would pay 3 out and recover 1. Also, if you draw another climax on the refresh as well, you get the chance to use the CX combo. So I would save 1 with 3 stock.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
All right, let that go.
Okay.
All right. Stand, draw, and refresh.
Yes. Refresh is immediate. Let's
have to refresh before I clock.
2, 4, 6, 8, 9 stock, which is, well, getting
That's
close
really
to
good.
Getting close to that critical mass of stock. There is 1 climax in stock, but at 9 other cards in there, it's fine. We don't want to. We don't want to necessarily aggressively pay that out. Besides, we already have the free fresh Akatsuki effect in the back.
Okay. All right. Power levels?
Over 9,000. Over 9,000. No, I wish. 6.5. This one's at 6.5 as well. And 4,000.
4,000. All right. Play this Ren. My other characters can't side attack.
Okay.
And then we're going to go ahead and play this Ren promo, who's one of the newer promos. She gets plus 1,000 for each animal character that attacks. So if I attack with her less with my current board, she'll be an 11k.
Okay.
So my Ren in the center here is sitting at 4, 5, 5, 5, 6. So I can go ahead and tap this to give her an extra 1,000, which will make her a 7. She'll get over that. And then this is a 4,000. So she's going to trade with the Isuzu.
Oh, boy.
So 3, 5, and then, yeah. So this is going to be front for 1.
Okay. 1 should hit. Yes. Darn. We need these Shiroes in the back.
And this is going to be 7 front for 1, 1.
7, you said?
Yeah.
How big is the other one on the that hasn't attacked yet?
She'll be 11k because 2 other animal characters attacked.
Oh, wow. Okay. You know, I will use a backup to give her 2,500.
Okay.
And that's for 1. Okay.
Yep.
Take 1.
And then this is 11,000 front for 1.
Okay. Take 1.
All right.
Let's see. I'm interested in attacking with other characters next turn, so I'm actually not going to save this Akatsuki. It's worth the clock. So I'm going to draw. Ooh, there's a climax for the end game there, which is good. We actually want to draw those eventually. And because we know that the next card down in stock is a climax, and it wouldn't hurt, I'm going to clock this Akatsuki. Draw 2. No, that's not as optimal, but no, it can work. I can make it work. Let's see. We were only going to get a couple of attacks in, but that's all right. I think I'm just going to move that there. We're going to keep this Marielle back here because it's not quite time to cash her in for some stock on the attack yet. I'm going to play this Minoli. Get that Max out of stock. I'm going to keep her in the back for now because I don't want to necessarily throw her at anything at the moment. We're just going to get a couple of attacks in, and let's see how far we can get with the damage. So, 1k1.
Yep.
Direct for 3. 4. Nice.
Cancels.
Okay. And with this attack, let's see, it's for direct for 3.
Cancels.
All right, passing turn. Now we have all the stock that we need for the end game.
That is awesome.
2, 4,
Stand
6,
and
8,
draw.
9. Oh, yeah. And it's all clean. I'm just going to pile it up here. We've got 9.
Gonna go ahead and clock.
All right.
Okay. All right. We're going to pay 1 for this code. If she reverses a level 2 or higher, I can pay 1 and search my deck for an animal character. But he doesn't have any level 2s in the front row for me to reverse. So, unfortunately, that will not be an option. But she also gets plus 500 for each animal character on the board, which helps power-wise. Then I am going to go ahead and play this Cood Brainstorm just to get some extra damage in. And on play, give her an extra 1,000.
All right.
Since this is the most likely row that he's going to back up because that Sojiro is not going to get big enough.
Nope.
I'm going to tap and give it an extra 1,000 here too. So she is 9 from her effect. She's getting 2,000 from this, so that is 11, 5, 12, 5.
All right.
So, and this will get up to 11 with the attack, so should be good here. So this is going to be direct for 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Ouch. 3 and 1. All right. So level. I'm going to level with this marker Akatsuki, and yep, ship the rest to the waiting room. That didn't cancel. We've only got 4 climaxes left in the deck, so the rest of them should hit, or I mean, should cancel, I should say.
This is for 1, 1.
We've only got 1 more Akatsuki left in the deck, so the CX combo is going to be difficult to pull off. All right.
And then this is going to be front for 1, 1.
Ah, there's a cancel. Okay.
Good. Okay.
Everybody gets swept away to the waiting room, and now it's time to see how big of an attack we can get. All right, draw. I'm going to clock this Melody. Draw 2, 1 and 2. Well, this is tricky because didn't quite get the desired setup. So we're gonna have to make do with what we've got. And she's at 2 and 5, so we'll want to hit as hard as we can with as much as we can, if we can. How big is everything?
Okay, so this is 1, 5. This is 9 currently. She is 9 from her effect, 10, 5.
Jeez.
10, 5 here.
Okay, so we can try the desperation attack. I'm first going to play my support Shiroe because then that means the anti-burn is active. So now we can't get damaged by her card effects, as in by her abilities. So I'm going to leave this card in my hand because then that means that if she attempts an attack, well, we should be able to refresh or force a refresh. That's favorable. But here's the thing. We could, in theory, use the minority combo to try to send a bunch of things to the bottom of her deck and clear things, which is the best upside because if we only go for 1 of the effects, well, it's going to get... we have a significantly lower upside for actually going for that. So instead, let's see, let me just reread her ability real quick here. When it attacks, you can pay 1 as long as the climax is there. All your characters get is 2,500. And they also get when this reverses something, you can send it to the bottom of the deck. So 10-5 in the center, but this Minori is already 10-5, and then she's going to be even bigger with the climax. So we're going to go for it. Here we go, 1k1.
Okay.
I'm going to make the attack.
I believe you have to pay 1 for that when the climax is put into play.
Is it?
If I remember correctly.
Oh, yes. Okay, so we will...
Because I remember I used to get stuck with that card sometimes when I had bad early games with Log Horizon when it was my deck, because you have to pay for the ability when you put the climax in play, not when it attacks.
There we go. Okay. So we're going to pay 1. Not that we really know.
There you go.
Here we go. Let's make the attack now for 1, 2. Just 2.
2 sticks.
Okay.
I end up leveling. This is going to go to the bottom of my deck.
Yep.
And I'm going to put my 3rd color blue over there.
Okay.
Okay.
And Shiro is behind somebody that reversed it, so I will pay 1 stock and rest him to give the character across from this minority -2 soul during your turn.
Okay.
Damage reduction! Here we go. And attacking for 2, 2.
Sticks.
All right. We're about even on damage. And
she goes to the bottom of the deck too, right? Or
yes.
Okay.
And pass turn. So we've got in the waiting room 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thanks. 5, 6. Only 2 climaxes left. 2 climaxes left in 5 cards. Now, if we are truly unlucky, there won't be a single one in the next 3 cards. That would actually cause us to lose this game. So, I guess we'll see. This incentivizes her to make the direct attack first as well. So let's hope. Let's see what happens. Let's see how this pans out. So 5 cards left. Up to 2 climaxes there. Everything.
Just what I wanted to see. Just what I wanted to see. All right, 1 second here. I've got to check a translation on 1 card really fast because it's been a while since I've played my animal deck. And I don't run this card in any other build. So it's got a really weird effect. But it's not bad per se. Actually, no, I'm not going to end up paying for it. So, but I'll just double check the translation so I don't play it wrong.
Okay.
All right.
2 left and 5 cards.
So this is going to seem weird, but there's a pretty high chance this is my one of my last turns because unless I get really lucky with cancels, a lot of my climaxes are already out. So at this point, I've got to go for a game. I do have one question with Shiro because I've not played Log Horizon with this deck. Do climax combo effects still occur?
What do you mean?
The Punish Burn Rin combo and the animal build.
Okay, does Punish Burn give the ability to the character?
It's when it attacks and the climax is out. Let me read the card translation. When this is placed, it can heal on play, and when this attacks, if my best puppet show is in the climax zone, this gains plus 3,000 power and act. This ability may be activated up to once per turn. When the damage dealt by this is canceled, you may deal 1 damage to your opponent.
Yeah, it'll stop that. The Shidoi will actually stop that.
Okay. So that kind of stinks. All right. But, okay, so then, ooh, that's funny. Let me double check this one. Because I might have a way to deal with your Shiroi.
No! Uh-oh.
Ha 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 ha. Oh, I have a way to deal with your Shiroi. This is gonna be it won't help me. It'll help me if for some reason I can make it 1 more turn. All right, so I am going to pay 2 for this Cood. On play, she heals 1. She has a second ability. If she reverses something, I can pay 1, choose one of your level 3 or lower characters, and it does not stand next turn.
Oh, interesting.
So it's an interesting play. So, all right, well, that's fine. And then, well, because I actually have, I guess I'll just show everybody my hand. I actually have 2 of these Rens I could play with the climax combo, but I do have a money counter in hand, so I can preserve some stock to maybe possibly live next turn. And since the Punish Burn is not going to do me very good, attacking here with the climax out will take care of his -2 soul here and ensure that I can power over something. So I'm going to play only 1 of these Rens and heal 1. And then her climax combo gives her plus 3,000 power, and would normally give Punish Burn if the Dancel can't, but not with Shiro A. So that is what it is. That is why Shiro A is so awesome. So I'm going to tap, give her an extra 1,000 power, rearrange this the smart way, and play 1K1.
All right.
So, I mean, there's a lot of arguments for maybe just holding on to this, but I have to at least get 1 point of damage here. And you know what? If I get him, if he just cancels 2 of the other attacks, I'm going to lock down his Shiroe. And I also can, at least hopefully get refresh damage out of him. So, all right, so when she attacks, she gets plus 3,000 power, so she is really big.
Yep.
She is 13, 14, 15, 16, 5.
Huge.
So this is going to be for 1, 1.
1 cancels. Oh, boy.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and attack with this Cood here. This is going to be for 3, 3.
Do we chance this? Because, let's see. We have a very, very good chance of canceling that. But the problem is that she's going to hit us with a direct attack, and then we're going to loop through our deck again. And I'd like to avoid the punishment. So I'm actually going to use the free refresh. Now, if we really choose to, we can look to see when it would have canceled. It would have canceled on the 3rd one, so it would have been okay. This goes back to the deck as well. It's part of the effect, because the cost is to discard it. Still going to die.
And then when she reverses that character, I'm going to pay 1. Shiroe does not stand next turn.
Okay. So that's for 3, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we've got 7 climaxes now left in the whole deck, which is good because we don't want to have insufficient number of climaxes to cancel with, even though the overswing on the right side against the empty slot might not also cancel. So here we go. That's for 3, 1, 2, and 3. Ooh, a cancel.
Ooh, nice. And then refresh. Or no, there's no refresh.
No refresh because that was an effect.
So, okay. And then this is going to be direct for 3.
Just 3? We can take it. 1, 2. Ooh, but that cancels 2. Wow. Lucky. Okay. Well, unfortunately, we don't have enough stock to encore them. Shidori does not stand. We've got 4 stock going into what is probably going to be our last turn. Drew a climax, which kind of stinks, but we're going to have to clock that and draw and hope for something. Oh, rats. Man, that's pretty rough. Well, guess it's time to just grin and bear it and play an empty field. Play 1K1, and attack for 2. Throw it out there. We draw a card. I think this game might have just ended.
This cancels.
Just cancels? Oh dear. Yeah. Passing turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. And an unfortunate stack of climaxes means that this game is now over. So all she has to do is attack once, and yeah, we just somehow hit a lot of climaxes right after a refresh.
Wow, that was just not a good refresh.
Nope.
That just really stings. All right,
Sometimes it happens.
I guess I supposedly could play over and heal off this last damage, so I guess there might be an argument for that.
Oh, man.
But considering he has an open field and I'm going to be overswinging anyways for 3, I kind of just want to leave this here.
Just attack.
Yeah, so this is going to be for 4.
1, 2, 3, and dead. Yup.